How y'all doing, man?
Doing good, doing good.
Awesome, man. I'm so glad to be back. I'm so glad to be back. We got so many subjects that we want to talk about right quick. You know, what's really going on here in Georgia is the case of Ahmaud Arbery. This is a young man. He was jogging through a neighborhood, and he stopped and looked in a vacant house that was being built, and then he kept going along his way. And subsequently, you know, after that, there were two people that followed him, and they killed him. And there was an altercation. And it took 2 months, over 2 months, for these individuals to be booked and incarcerated. The people down there, the judicial system doesn't work. And so this is a case that's really got the nation up in arms. And so when you first heard about it, how did you feel, T?
I thought it was a miscarriage of justice. I read actually and heard that these police officer wasn't certified. He wasn't certified when he was on the force. And then they gave him talking to a developer, talking about protect my property. So he technically didn't have the right to use legal force. That was it. But that doesn't surprise me in these small towns and small communities, because they got a certain way of doing things. And the law be damned.
That are not legal.
No, it's not legal. It's just like what we got now. You know, it ain't legal, but that's the way they feel they have some kind of entitlement and rights because they are white. That's the basic line. If you're black or brown, you know your rights are trampled on. They don't respect your rights under the Constitution, even though you have full rights as a citizen. We're not second-class citizens. We're first-class citizens, and we need our rights to be enforced. And part of the problem is with the legislative, the legal process with the
Right, Kim?
You know, right. They're complicit in this murder because they knew this man didn't have the authority, and they hired him to do other things. So it compromises all the cases of people who might have been arrested by this person that's in jail. So,
so as Hacker, let me ask you about this case. You know, you there in Alabama, and you understand about racism. You know, when you heard about it, how did you feel, man? I mean, it's like it was just disheartening, right?
Again, it's not disheartening. It is just this is America. This is simply America. And for those who are shocked, why would you be shocked? Where have you been?
How can you be shocked? We got cases like this every day.
Every day. And again, this is just one of the ones that was reported. And the only reason we know about it is because someone took a video. And they saw the video way before we did. And the only reason those people were arrested is because we saw the video. That's the only reason. Brian Kemp, I think
they saw the video 2 months ago and didn't do jack nothing.
No, again, they probably went out to dinner and had some drinks and celebrated. But again, this is the thing. As a citizen, your job is to observe and report. You're not allowed to posse up and go out and apprehend anyone.
No citizens arrest in Alabama?
There's no citizens arrest ever. You again, the right that you have is to stand your ground. If that was not his house, that was not his ground. So basically, he and his son possed up, found the guy, and killed him. And they should be tried for first-degree murder, and they should be convicted for first-degree murder with special circumstances. And you know what special circumstances mean? Death row, baby. They should be on death row. You know, I'm not a firm believer in the death penalty per se, but this one, I'll make an exemption for this one. I really would.
You know, that must be like the Catholic view of death penalty. It's like we don't really like agree with it, but there are certain cases we like. Yeah, I get it, you know. And if you can put the word heinous in front of it,
again, that's
the word racist in front of it, then I'm like, you know what? I understand.
Again, the reason I don't believe in the death penalty is because it is not a hindrance.
Well, because it's handed out so unequally. I mean, you look at the Innocence Project, how many people they've gotten off, how many people they killed, you know, and without little or no evidence, you know. So I mean, you know, from that standpoint, you know, being African American, I mean, I can never believe in the death penalty because
again, I don't believe in
the
justice system was not built to protect us. It was
absolutely
built to,
not. It was built to protect white people.
It was built to incarcerate us.
Absolutely.
And it's doing exactly what it is meant to do. And again, you see in this case, right? How the district attorneys, right? They were like, hands off. No, dude, that's not part of your jobs. You don't get to say hands off. Is it legal or is it illegal, the actions that a citizen has taken? And if it's illegal, your job is to prosecute them, regardless of cover. They said justice is blind. Nah, justice is blind. You know, that statue.
Justice might be blind, but she can hear.
That statue of justice is blind, but the people who actually institute justice, no, they're not blind. They're biased as anyone I know. They're quite biased. But again, that's my thing on the death penalty. It's done unequally. They've killed innocent people, and they know they have. In the state of Alabama, they had a man on death row for decades. They knew he didn't do it. The prosecutor knew he didn't do it. But again, it was a high-profile case, and he didn't want to hurt his rep.
And they stand by their wrong decisions.
Exactly. And the guy who got him off is the same man who started the lynching memorial in Montgomery, Alabama.
I got to get to that. I've been trying to get to that. I really am going to.
I can't go because again, if I came out, I might posse up. I know me.
I'll take a lot of pictures and put them on Facebook. But yeah. you know how I do.
You know how I do. That's why I can't go.
Yeah. Well, I think it's important because, you know, I just want to, I want to memorialize those individuals that, you know, that lived through this. So listen, just kind of, you know, pivoting a little bit. I think we all were kind of excited to hear that, you know, despite COVID-19, that there was going to be a graduation ceremony that was going to be put on, and that the keynote speaker would be Barack Obama.
I was in the audience. I was in the audience. I was sitting right here in the audience looking at it.
I should have put my gown back on. I didn't even think about it. I could have played it. Man. I could, you know. I've done that. I've graduated every now and
then. Me too. Many times.
Yeah.
Hey, he's the best commencement speaker I heard.
Absolutely.
Exactly. He's the only one you'll remember.
Absolutely. I don't remember who spoke in my high school. I don't know.
Exactly. And then McConnell had the nerve to say that, not McConnell, who is that? That piece of turd, Karl Rove. He said it was a drive-by shooting. So, okay. Again, I've seen a lot of drive-by shootings.
He's got to try to make it urban, right?
No, so again, drive-by shootings that somebody's either hurt or murdered. So was Trump hurt or murdered by what Barack said?
You know what? Barack Obama tried to address the issues of the world, and a lot of those issues have to do with the problems that we're having with how this COVID-19 is being handled. And he's imploring the high schoolers that they are our future and that they need to see what's going on. There's a lot of incompetence going on. We got a lot of people who don't know what the hell they're doing. And he's telling them, look, we need y'all to take the wheel. We need you all to get ready, because you know what, right now, we don't have somebody who's really driving this ship really good right now. Right now, we about to hit another iceberg, you know, messing around with this fool in here in the White House. And you know what? He didn't mention anybody's names. It wasn't said in a manner that, you know, would throw. Karl Rove said that he threw Donald Trump under the bus. Even tried to say that he threw Mike Pence up under the bus and the great job that he's been doing. Mike Pence has not been doing a great job with this particular issue that we're having. That all the administration's not doing a good job. I think they need to just stop trying to gaslight us, trying to stop, you know, telling the American people that everything is going good, because the Americans in all reality are behind everyone darn near. Out of like 41 countries that have it, like we're 39. You know, they're changing the way they do the grass here in Georgia to try to act like it's okay to open up, and then when they get caught and busted on it, then they change it up, and then you got Brian Kemp saying, "Oh man, that was really bad." Bit like you didn't know that was done like that, really? They're taking CDC information and they're switching it around. They shut the CDC voice in this whole situation down when we really need to be listening to the CDC. We got to listen to misinformation from Donald Trump. He's talking about he's taking hydrochloroquine every day, just taking it cause. It's like, you can't even make this stuff up, man. You can't make this stuff up. And yes, we need the youth to see this whole shit show and try to help us out.
Right. But again, what do we expect?
We expect them to
no, from a reality talk show star.
We're on survival.
And I'm surviving because, again, whatever he says, I'm doing the opposite.
Absolutely. I'm not drinking Clorox.
I hope he does. Again, if he's taking that drug, wash it down with a glass of Clorox, bro. Do that.
On them pills, my brother.
Do that for the American people.
I got you.
That's your patriotic duty. To drink that Clorox.
We ought to start Amazon Prime as Clorox to the White House.
Now, again, that it should be boxes and boxes. Again, just like these lockdown protesters.
That old lady had that sign say, I need wine. I need Clorox.
Oh, the liquor store is open, girl. I don't know where she's been.
Oh, man, they hooked her up, though. They hooked her up with that.
Hey, and again,
beer, man.
And if she can't get that wine, hey, I know somebody with some good moonshine for you. Got a bit of Clorox in it, though. That's it. That's that.
You know
extra
what? Donald
ingredient.
Trump think he's taking hydrochloroquine, and his doctor said he's giving it to him. He probably giving him a placebo. He's so stupid.
Again, hey, give it to him. You're supposed to. Really? Now check it. You're supposed to serve at the pleasure of the president. Give it to him.
You know what? I hate to say it, but they just giving a placebo because they're not trying to catch that smoke if that idiot kills over.
If he asks for it, give it to him.
I say pick your dosage, man. What you want?
You don't even have to pick your dosage.
Literally, pick your poison, right?
I hope they have a patch.
You want to
give him the patch so he gets it, constantly. If they could put it in a drip, give it to him.
Put it in a
smoothie. He's not taking any smoothies. Why are you playing? What Nancy Pelosi call him? Morbidly obese.
Nancy, my girl, yes.
Nancy, she's not playing the radio.
Hey, look, you know what? She's concerned. She's showing concern.
And she's praying for him.
He's an elderly man. He's not in the best condition, to be quite frank. He's morbidly obese. I'm like, hey, you know what? Let's just go ahead and call a thing a thing. This is stupid.
Again, truth hurts, especially from someone where's Joe Wilson, who famously said that President Barack Obama lied. We should put him on a loop. But you lie. Again, they keep saying it's misinformation or untruth. No, I'm from the South. We call it what it is. He's lying about everything.
Yeah, but down south, they lie about everything. Okay, so
again, if I don't owe you money, if I'm not in
politics, they lie about everything.
If I don't owe you money and I'm not in a relationship with you and I don't love you, I don't have to waste my lives on you.
And that baby ain't mine.
For sure it ain't mine, because I would be the first to know. Again, it's just ridiculous thing. And again, the sad thing is, our children are watching. I have no children of my own, but I have children around me who I love. What do we tell them about the racist in chief? Again,
well, you know what? That's what we're talking about. We were so proud of Barack Obama speaking to our children.
Right.
And
some dude had photoshopped a picture of former President Barack Obama with a noose around his neck. Check this out, brother. And I mean brother lightly. We are not afraid of you and your made up nooses. Because Man, TT, and Sherry, we all have Second Rights Amendment. We don't need your noose. Come at me with a rope. Right?
Yeah, don't bring a rope to a gunfight.
Because again, you're not leaving willingly. Now let me rephrase that. You won't remember when you leave.
Catch that smoke. All right, y'all. I want to talk a little bit about Dr. Rick Bright. Dr. Rick Bright testified in front of the House, and he said that we're in deep shit. He talked about the lack of response from the Trump administration back in late December, early January. He couldn't even get meeting. Couldn't even get meeting
by that.
To talk about what was going on in China and how this particular virus was moving and how we needed to be reacting in terms of, you know, ordering all of these, you know, extra masks and materials that we would need in order to combat this situation. And it kind of fell on deaf ears. So, you know, he went there and he gave a blistering account of what happened. And now, of course, the GOP is like backing up, making up stuff. Now we got Obamagate. All the covers were bare. And, you know, then coming out 2 days later going, well, you know, it wasn't all the way bare, and not really acknowledging that they had 3.5 years to, you know, replenish what was used during the Ebola crisis. But to say that they were left with nothing, to say that they didn't have a plan, which they did, and they dismantled, it's just been a whole bunch of misinformation. But Rick Bright showed a bright light on all of that, all of those
shit. The fact of the matter is, we know that Trump's a liar. He don't read. He's blaming China for this Ebola virus that China didn't tell him. Why would I tell my enemy? China doesn't like us. To be in particular, China doesn't like him, Donald Trump. I'm not going to say they don't like Americans. I'm saying they don't like Donald Trump. So they're not going to go and pick up the phone and say, Donald Trump, guess what? We got this virus here. You need to contain it. Nope. Remember, he threw the tariff on him. He wasn't going to talk to him. He knew more than everybody. They did what they did. They reported it to the World Health Organization, which is called the WHO, for those who don't know. And they sent the information over there. But Donald Trump don't read. He's illiterate. He don't read. He know more than anybody. So he should have had this cure in February. But remember, he said it's like magically go away. Well, you know what?
It'll wash away when it gets hot.
Right. It's still here. We're pushing up on 100,000. 100,000 deaths. And he doesn't see anything that's wrong with it. And then he's taking this malaria drug talking about, I'm fixed, you know? Listen, you know, it's like this. Anybody that talks truth, he doesn't want them to speak. That's the bottom line. And I'm going to tell you, Dr. Fauci, him not getting up there to standing next to Trump speaking, the way he figured it is, somebody got the virus, and I can't wear my mask. It's better if I just self-quarantine myself for 14 days, and he'll probably do it for another, make it 21.
So as how you feeling about this? I mean,
they had a response, but it was in let me sell my stocks before the economy craters. And anybody who doesn't have the information that I have, good luck to you. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Richard,
yeah.
That was their response. And I understand we live in a capitalistic society. I get that all day. I have a master's of business administration from Stanford University.
Yes, you do.
I get that all day. But again, I try not to be a hypocrite in my life. I try to live an authentic life. But I can't be around or listen to hypocrites. Every time the little Donald comes on the television or on my radio, I turn it off or I mute it because I don't listen to liars, right?
You know, you were talking about the stock trades. You know, Richard Burr, he stepped down from the Intelligence Committee because I believe he got some information, and they seized his phone.
Oh, he wasn't the only one.
Hey, you know what? There may be some more people because there's never one, right?
Again, what's her name? She's a Democrat.
Kelly?
Feinstein.
Feinstein, yeah. She and her husband. Again, the chick from Georgia, Loeffler.
Yeah, Loeffler.
Yeah, because her husband is
president. Senator, your senator.
Her husband is president of the New York Stock Exchange. So they had a little.
You know, Brian Kemp fought against Donald Trump to appoint her. And you know,
yeah, because they wanted the mail.
She's got these commercials running saying that she gave $1 million to help the emergency workers and, you know, buy masks.
$1 million.
$1 million for Kelly Loeffler is like $25
to
Yeah,
up.
that's what I'm saying. All the money they made, like 200 million
Yeah, again, she said
on the
she gave
stock.
$1 million. Yeah, but again, we will. I've always known that because information is what controls whether your stock goes up or down. And if you're the person who has the information, you're going to be the person who reaps those financial benefits. The market has always been rigged.
and avoids those pitfalls.
Again, right, because again, they weren't the only one. They told their family, they told their friends, they told everyone, get out while you can. It's like, if you were on the Titanic, you knew that iceberg was coming and you knew you
You
had
got
some
that lifeboat.
helicopters that could, now forget the lifeboat. You had some helicopters that
Oh,
would
you
come
see,
and lift you and your friends out, and you call and say, yeah, I've got an important meeting back in the States, right? And if you're on that Titanic and you think, oh, the lifeboat will save me, all right. That's all I have to say. All right.
all right, guys. Listen, last night before, they completed the final 10th episode of The Last Dance. Of course, The Last Dance is about the run of
Chicago Bulls, baby, Chicago
the
Bulls.
Chicago Bulls and Michael Jordan dynasty.
That's
And
right, dynasty. You can't have no dynasty unless you win 6 titles.
That's
6
right.
titles.
Did a three-peat. So, for me, because of all of this been going on, granted, I'm still out here working and everything, so I don't really feel so quarantined, but, just really just having the opportunity to watch that and go back and just kind of relive all of that, because everybody then, regardless of where you lived or wherever, you love Michael Jordan. You might have rooted for your home team. Like some people like, we still was Detroit Pistons fans. I'm like, yeah, whatever, bro. But you really had to really enjoy that. So I really, I still kind of feel the same way about Michael. It's a little bit ambivalent, but you cannot take away anything from how he contributed to the game of basketball.
Well, I'm just going to let everybody know I have some of that memorabilia from the dynasty years. I believe it's 97. I have chairs. Look, I got the name on me, right? So, but anyway, I got some chairs, and they're from the stadium, and they say Halo on them.
Yeah,
and
that's the company that
and it would change the covering on the top. It would sometimes say Bull or whoever was sponsoring NBA Today or whatever it is. And anyway, the place I worked at before, they bought these chairs in an auction, and I got them because somebody bought them. A general manager bought them. They didn't know what the value of it was, so they said throw them out. There was actually 4. I had in the dumpster to get them, so I grabbed the 3. And somebody else got the 1. So I actually got a chair that either Michael or Scotty or Phil sat on, or who knows, even Paxton or Kirk. One of the Bulls sat on that chair. That's all I can say. So you've been here, Sandra. You probably seen them red folding chairs. So
oh yeah, I see the chairs. In fact,
they're made for sitting. Since they don't have a bench, they made for sitting on.
Yeah, they're kind of a little cushy and yeah.
I hadn't watched any of it, but the thing that I love about Michael Jordan's competitiveness is that he would have practice before they had practice. Like he would practice 2 hours before their regularly scheduled practice, and he would be the hardest working person there.
Right? I think that was before the Jordan rules.
Again, no, I'm saying, but again, his own individual practice, right? And Nick Saban, who many people have different opinions on Nick Saban, but what he said is that that's what it takes to be the best, right? You can't just say, I'm going to do, just a regular practice and I'm going to give it some of it. You have to give it your all if you want to be the best in sports or be the best in anything. You can't protocol like, yeah, this is what we do, step 1, step 2, step 3. Protocol makes you average. Yeah, if you really want to be the best, you've got to go above and beyond. And again, Jordan was a competitor. but he also pushed people. A lot of people on Michael Jordan's teams
Well,
did
this
not
show
like
really
him.
highlighted his leadership. It really did.
Right.
It showed all of that, and you got to see it. I mean, you know, not that people never thought about it, but Michael does cuss a lot, and it
Who
really
doesn't
did.
in sports?
It was wonderful. It was good. T
And
man, we gotta get out of here, bro.
Talks
We
trash.
gotta get out of here, man.
Yeah,
We gotta get out of here, y'all.
No.
All right. Yeah, we gonna get on out about that time. So,
I have one quick point. Most important thing that I encourage people to do is vote.
Oh yeah, definitely vote.
That's the only way we're going to change the political climate that we're in.
Exactly.
Vote these idiots out of office.
Vote down ballot. Just vote.
All the way.
all the
right.
way. And vote in your interests.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
You know, we got this crumbs that they threw, this $1,200 crumbs they threw out to people. That's not enough to pay your rent for no 2 months.
That's not enough to pay it for 1 month in certain circumstances.
Right, yeah. You know, so vote in your interest. Look long term, because you're gonna be around long term. You know, if you can survive this coronavirus.
Exactly.
You know. So anyway, that's us from Lee Street Beat. We want everybody to stay safe. Help one another if you can. Do it by social distancing. Until next time, we'll talk, and we're gonna actually try to have a young lady on here who's been affected by this virtual graduation.
Awesome.
And so we're gonna try to get her next week. And I think she'd be glad to participate, and she can tell you how this has really affected her. She's turning 18. Her whole life is turned upside down. She can't see her friends. She was looking forward to prom. She's looking forward to graduations, and she can't do this now. So until next week, bye-bye. This is T the Man, Sandra.
Wear a mask or wear a ventilator.
And S Hacker.
Exactly.
Until next week, bye-bye.
Peace.
Street Beat.